You're plugged in to The Real Life Show with your host, Malichi, where real life issues meet real life solutions. Problems are not solitary things. Someone has been through what you're going through. So let's talk about real life.
You want to introduce yourself to the public?
Yes, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mark Wawero. I've been dealing with mental health just for the latter part of my life, just when I was kind of, from when I was 19 to when I am now, like 23.
Okay, so when you first started, when the episodes first started happening, like what was going through your brain? Because you never felt anything like that before, right?
Yeah, I just, I don't know, it's just, the best way I can describe it is that, like, everything changed at that moment. At that moment in time, everything changed, and everything I was perceiving was on a different level, a different plane. And when that's kind of dangerous when you're talking about your mental health, because if you start perceiving things differently than anybody else would, that automatically puts you in the box of being abnormal.
Okay, so when you say perceive things differently, what do you technically mean by that?
As much as, like, for the person who's living through those experiences and have lived experience with mental health, the big thing is that you don't fully understand your experience in terms of just like how real it was. It feels really tangible and real when you're going through it. But then when you reflect on it, you think, hold up, there's no way it couldn't happen that way, So, yeah.
Like specifically, what mental health issue are you dealing with?
I've been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And I was diagnosed when I was 21.
Before you were diagnosed, what was your perception of somebody with schizophrenia?
I just thought that somebody with schizophrenia is somebody who's suffering from intense delusions, intense obscuring of reality. So pretty much if somebody's dealing with schizophrenia, I always thought that they were talking to themselves or seeing, hallucinating, or dangerous. Like, I just had that image in my mind just by what I'm seeing through the media.
So, and then once you got diagnosed with schizophrenia, what is the reality of schizophrenia now? Because you are living it. Well,
from being somebody who lived through schizophrenia, it's kind of, I always look at it from like episodic, like when you're experiencing symptoms, when you're experiencing things that are different from what other people would experience. When you're in that mind frame, it's different, and it's hard.
Do you believe you personally are a danger to society?
Oh no, I've never been a danger to society. I've never been violent. I've never started a fight. I've never instigated anything. I'm just an average 23-year-old who just likes playing basketball and like rapping and music. So although I have that label on me, I'm still gonna have to live with that label. But there's a great departure from the image of what we're fed of the clinical diagnosis of schizophrenia and what actually is the reality. Because when you're going through those cycles, like when I look at my experiences with mental health and with schizophrenia, all I really see is, I wasn't in tune with what was real. There was a departure, I didn't have a level playing, my head wasn't I didn't have a level mind at that time. And I basically made poor judgments and suffered for them. And they have your actions have your consequences.
So now you're on the road to recovery, right?
Oh yeah, I've been on the road for recovery. Outside of my first experience with mental health, I was pretty much good for a couple years. Like I haven't relapsed or went back to experiencing anything abnormal like in that time frame. I've been just resuming the things I want to do. Like I'm in school, I'm doing music, and I'm just focusing on the positives.
Is it possible to suffer from schizophrenia and not know it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it. I mean, for me, it was just like, you know, like I was just, there's a key word, it's called grandiose. It's when you're kind of just like, you're so full of yourself that you just, you know, think you can do things that the average person can't.
Okay.
And you kind of just have this supreme confidence, and you start acting irrationally because of that.
Okay.
You know, so like, not to say that a lot of people aren't grandiose, but when you mix grandiosity with this definition of schizophrenia or something like that, it pretty much says that, you know, like, you know, your confidence can be at almost a dangerous level.
You love music.
Yeah.
How does music affect your mental health?
Music affects my, it's a positive thing, you know, like, I mean, like if you're doing something as productive as music, it's actually, you know, it has like you know, it's actually proven in studies that like, you know, like it activates a part of your brain that stimulates creativity and concentration and focus. So like people who play music or people who participate or listen to music, like that's just such a positive thing to do to help heal your mind.